explode the world for this.
I
Believe it? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Everyone ready? Feeling comfortable? 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, Chenda joins us today on the podcast. Welcome.
Glad to be here.
How you feeling? Feeling good?
Great.
Ready?
Very jet lagged.
Oh, yeah.
When did
Very
you get
jet
here?
lagged. I got here yesterday from New York.
Nice.
I mean, it's not that bad, but like, I've been like to a whole like scroll of places, so it's like kind of hitting me today.
You were saying you like traveled throughout the US. Where was
Yes.
it? Like New York, LA.
So it's like there's so many. San Francisco. That was like a chain flight to Cleveland,
Yeah.
and then Columbus for Lost Lands,
Which you played.
which I played at. Yeah,
How was that?
phenomenal.
Sick.
Yeah.
What was, you were talking earlier before we started, the stage was like, because it's heavy there, right?
Oh, yeah,
It's,
very
like,
heavy.
Super heavy.
Yeah.
What was it like on the stage that you did?
So I played on the Subsidy stage. That's mainly like the very like heavy stuff. But there's like a whole range of genres there.
Right.
Like there's even like house,
Oh, really?
you know, which is not really something that I expected at a festival like Lost Lands, but it's
That's pretty
surprising.
cool. Was it like bass house or like more techie?
I mean, I would say it's more like leaned towards bass house because it's like, you know,
a little bit heavier.
a little bit heavier than
Yeah.
usual. But I mean, they played like everything there, like trap, future bass, dubstep,
Who was like headlining there?
Excision, Millennium,
Oh, nice. Okay.
Sullivan King. His set was like, oh my god.
Did the full weekend, right?
I went for the full.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, yeah. I went for the full 3 days. Very tired at the end of it though, but like, yeah, really really cool experience.
Was there many people there that you knew, like that you sort of connected with, or?
I knew a lot of people online beforehand,
Yeah.
but I've never actually met anyone there like in person, especially like being an Australian artist. It's like really hard to like get everyone together in like one location and
Yeah.
like just sort of vibe it up for like 3 days. So that was like,
Yeah.
Was Papa Khan there?
I believe he was.
He played
Yeah.
Lost Lands, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Newport? I don't know who else.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Newport,
He was there.
If Found, Puppet,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there's definitely
Yeah.
that
sound.
crew, like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's so interesting. I mean, you said it then about like being from Australia and like we were talking before about like the sound over there and like
Yeah, right.
how it's like, I guess for you specifically, there's not really, it's not a massive scene, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like the reliance on having this digital world is such a big thing for you, right?
Exactly,
Like if
yeah.
you want to connect with anyone, think about like just the collabs, like recent. you
Exactly, yeah.
Did 32 Stitches, Harley Bird, Shio, obviously on the recent track. Like, what is it for you? I mean, I guess that's such an integral part is having that connection, but why do you think it's so important to build these relationships and connections?
Yeah, I mean, you know, collabing's a huge way to like build yourself to a wider audience, right? Like if you did tracks on your own like all the time, then it would be a lot harder to reach a wider audience because you're kind of relying for people to find you in a way. But if you work with other people, then it's
You can steal their audiences.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's genius.
Yeah, not in like a, you know, a friendly way, you know.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
everyone, that's how everyone works. It's
Yeah,
just
exactly, yeah.
collaboration, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a lot more fun as well. Just seeing like how other people work. You know, that's like a huge thing for me.
What's the door?
The door.
What door do you use?
Oh, door. I thought.
I wondered what you meant.
I thought it was being
I thought you meant like
that one
what's the
behind the
door?
camera.
Yeah.
What's the door to collaboration? You open a door with a new artist.
Yeah. So I use FL.
Ah.
I really want to switch to Ableton though because that's the one that like everyone uses.
Yeah.
But I'm like really scared to use it because it looks like it looks so scary to me.
Right. Yeah.
Because compared to FL, it's like a lot less, how do I say it, like beginner friendly in a way, because there's a lot more to learn like that they don't really show you,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
You know, in terms, I don't know too much about music production.
Yeah.
Here we go. Charlotte Lee.
If you make something in FL and you were
Yeah.
collaborating with someone who used the other one that you just
Right.
mentioned, can you do that?
Yeah, so we do that by using stems, which is basically just the process of like rendering out each track that you use as like a sound file. And then you pack all of those together, send it to the artist that you're working on that song with, and then they just kind of work with those on whatever they want to add or anything.
Whereas I
like
guess
that.
if you're in the same door, you just save the project and send the project.
Exactly.
To an extent. Yeah. Yeah.
It's not like you can send like the projects over to them because they don't really use that.
I think there's
program.
software now that like allows you to collaborate. Like I'm pretty sure there was some software that like it like holds it on like a Dropbox type thing.
True, yeah.
And then it like exports the files. Have you used anything like that?
I use Google Drive.
All right, cool.
And like, I know. Dropbox as well. That's the one that my manager uses usually. And then there's also smaller ones like WeTransfer, but that has like oh my god, that has a 7-day expiry.
I hate
thing.
WeTransfer.
Yeah.
Which I
Say
hate.
that. No, just in case they're
WeTransfer
listening.
Yeah.
They're never going to sponsor this podcast.
Yeah.
It's Dropbox or nothing. Come on.
Yeah.
Where are you?
I really only use that for like quick file transfer
Yeah.
type jobs.
Whack it on a WhatsApp web. And get that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if they want me to keep it like on cloud storage for a longer period of time, then obviously you wouldn't really use that.
Yeah.
So
where did it all begin? Where did Chenda come from? Have you always been Chenda?
yeah.
Like kind of take us way back.
Well, I mean, I used to be ex-Chenda,
Right.
you know? Yeah. I kind of hated the X in front of my name after a while because to me it sounded like a gamer tag or something.
Also on the lineup, if it's alphabetical order, you'd be last.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly.
that's
Yeah,
true. You've gone from last to third.
I've gone from third last to like third.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Smart move.
Yeah.
So where did it all begin? Like,
Yeah, so the way that I got into music production was kind of a bittersweet experience, I think. I used to do like piano lessons in primary school, and then in high school I used to be in my concert and jazz bands as a trumpet player.
Oh, nice.
I played trumpet for like 5 years, and then I was forced to quit because of appendicitis. I got my appendix taken out.
yeah.
And then I got into drums after that because it was a less like intensive like instrument to play in terms of like.
That feels more intense, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I mean, you're not really using your diaphragm. That's
Sure.
That's like the main thing.
There's no air output.
Yeah. That was kind of like the main thing that I was worried about. And then a short time after I got into drums, one of my school friends actually was making music like before I even started. He showed me like what he used, what software he had, and I just kind of got into it like that way. And then I found channels like yours and Trap Nation, and I love that sort of like realm of music, so I kind of experimented with that sort of style. I started off with Big Room, by the way, which is like kind of unexpected for like the sort of genre that I'm in now. But
was this like the Martin Garrix sort of boom?
yeah. I sucked at it.
Right.
So.
I feel like everyone we get on the podcast, that era gets referenced
like
so much.
Big Room,
Yeah.
Future House, like that whole scene. Yeah.
Yeah,
a lot,
right.
lot of purple circles, purple visualizers.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and then I got into like trap future bass, which is kind of what I make now, and then it's like the dubstep type of sound.
Yeah, there's definitely that crossover dubstep in your sound.
Yeah, for sure. I really enjoy crossing over genres in my tracks. I feel like that's a big part of like my production process because, in Find You There, there's like a dubstep section, and then the second drop goes into like a house section, which is kind of like hard to find.
Yeah, that's not a common combo.
You
like
know?
dubstep to drum and bass, I can get. Like,
Yeah.
dubstep to house is interesting.
It's interesting. Yeah.
It might be hard to find, but you certainly found it there. There we go. Do you want to play that, by the way? Let's
Sure.
talk about that.
Go ahead.
So
Yeah.
before we get into it, let's talk about that. I mentioned Shire earlier on. Like you've obviously collabed in the past before as well.
Yeah.
But Find You There, like I think first of all in your songs, there's two things I want to ask on this. First of all, is how did that collab come about? Like, tell us a story, and then also I think you and Shire especially are really good at like approaching topics in your songs.
Yeah.
And like talking on things that maybe artists feel more afraid to talk on. Like, do you think there's a part of you that's like, I want to spread like these messages and get these stories out? So sort of two-ended question there.
Yeah. Well, I met Shire through, I think it was Roy Knox or something like that. Like after he did his first release with him, he kind of introduced me to him. You know, we had like a lot of like intentions in our music in common.
Yeah.
So we kind of knew like right off the bat that we had to work on at least one song, you know? We ended up doing like 4. But yeah, I mean, a big thing about Shire to me is that we really focus more along like portraying how we feel in our music rather than making the music sound good, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, like Shire is a very emotional vocalist in my eyes, and that's like a huge part about finding a vocalist.
Yeah.
I think
I definitely find that like I myself don't really listen to the lyrics so much.
Yeah.
But I can definitely tell when I'm listening to a song, even if it's on the background, like you can just tell by the tone of like, you know, even Shire's vocals.
Yeah.
You know, it can
There's
be
that
really,
like strain, like the push.
yeah,
exactly.
You could feel
Yeah.
the pain. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, let me just play it real quick.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
How many releases do you reckon you've had with us?
It's hard to keep count.
Yeah.
Now.
Do you know off the top of your head?
I should do, but
I think it's 8 actually.
okay. There's a new on that.
Yeah.
I'll find that number out. But
Yeah, so
That's true.
it was No Pressure, and then the Mutiny remix for Exod.
Yeah.
And then 10 More Minutes, Mr. Bully, Numb the Pain, Find You There, Freedom, and then recently For You.
Well, apparently you're wrong. Our system says 0. So
Don't expose that our system's broken on the podcast. Let's listen to Find You
let
There.
me play this.
But that's all you want, wanna rub me up. I'm holding back, trying to get me framed, throw me in cuffs.
It sort of feels like the production and the vocal, you mentioned it on there, like that sentiment of using the sort of emotion before the product. They really pair up well. Like they sound similar almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know how you're gonna like put the audio on top of this.
I'm gonna find a beat.
Well, and then I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Really
I find you there, I find you there.
drops so tight.
Yeah, thanks.
What BPM is that? That's like slow.
That's like
Like 100 BPM.
that's like 110, 115,
right.
which is like kind of hard to do in dubstep usually because you're more used to that like rapid tempo, like 140, 150
Yeah.
ish.
That is going to be so difficult for me to. By the way, guys can notice we haven't got headphones on today. I mean, if you hear music in this podcast, you're going to hear the podcast. If you hear it and it sounds good, claps in the comments. It's a good edit job. It's a good edit job.
Props to the
We'll have
editors.
to go
Yeah.
through.
I'll play another one then. So 32 Stitches, Chenda, Freedom, featuring Harley Bird.
Yeah.
It's a tune.
I'll just play it and then you can kind of give us some background.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Find me alive with your cutting snare, crushed in the dive of your flooding prayer. I wanna taste of your freedom. I wanna taste of your freedom. Frozen inside when you're not there. Weight of the world on me.
Try not to
I know.
a bit too.
I wanna taste of your freedom. I wanna taste of your freedom.
Like I said, it's like being in an action movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
That melody's so nice.
Yeah.
How did that collab come about? Because that's I think some with the caption might have been that it's like 3 big hitters at the end.
Yeah. Yeah.
Going together.
I mean, you said it was a big lineup.
Yeah. Serious.
Yeah, so 32 Stitches sent me a demo of the instrumental. I added in that drum and bass section, like in the middle. And then the first and third drops, I just sort of tweaked a little bit to make it a little bit more like gritty. And then I think, after that was when we hit up Harley and we were just like, yo, like we would be honored to have you on this. Like you'd be perfect for it. And
Nice.
the rest is history.
Yeah.
Cool. The other one I wanted to play as well was the Mega Collab.
Yeah,
Mega
that one.
Collab.
Yeah.
Because this one's popping off.
Who's on this track?
So
then? Remind me the
Clark's, Katas, Lamals, Chenda, Anecdote, and Shia Maisel.
I was just trying to find. Has that just done 5 million streams?
It recently passed something.
It surpassed 6 million yesterday.
Oh wow.
Yesterday.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play the drop for you, Sam, so you can.
Yeah.
It's a proper like sexy song, if you get me.
Yeah.
You imagine
That
it in
melody.
like a film where it's like there's a moment where it's a bit like badass.
Yeah.
We need a slow and reverb version.
Yeah.
That's crazy. How do you manage that? I mean, I think it's maybe the only other collab was Heartless that had more. I think more people on it, but
That
they,
was 8 people.
That
on
had
it.
Yeah.
Builds.
But how?
Yeah, we had like 5 people in a Discord call just working on ideas. And then I think Clark's was the one that projected like the initial idea for Numb the Pain.
Yeah.
He kind of wanted to take like an electronic rock take for the song that we were going to do. And we were just like, you know what? Let's just try something different. And if it doesn't work out, then like, oh well. Yeah. And the whole process was so much fun.
Nice.
You know, obviously there was like, 6 people on the track, but the fact that there's so many people on it was like challenging, but also like, a different experience to the point where it was like very liberating.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I remember that was when because it was obviously part of the NCS 10 campaign. I think we posted in like our like family group chat or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I can't remember how. I'm trying to remember how all of this came about. Did we post and say like, "Hey, we'd love to
We
get"?
posted and we got on a Zoom call about it.
Oh, that was
and
right.
like a bunch of people joined and then
Yeah, there was like a Zoom call with like 30 people.
I wasn't on that Zoom call.
Oh, no.
then I think people organise their own groups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should do that again.
Yeah, I think that's really good.
I definitely would take part in that again.
Yeah, nice.
There's also like that thing of, I mean, I think we said this last week on the podcast about how we work, like having that time constraint sometimes really helps. I think it can go one of 2 ways, but that pressure of being like, right, I need to get at least 4 people on a track here and make something. It just sort of forces you to do it.
Exactly.
Which is really cool.
Yeah.
Shall I play this week's tracks?
I think we can go a bit earlier with playing the tracks, and then we'll speak a bit more. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Cool.
Do you know what this week is?
This week is this week.
No, it's not.
Clarify. Oh, is this week next week?
Yeah.
Okay. So this week,
You must have seen this like
This
the amount of
week,
times. that
Right.
this happened.
Yeah,
this
exactly.
week I'm not actually here. We're not actually here. We're in Amsterdam.
Yeah, right now when this is out, we're in
Yeah,
Amsterdam.
we are in Amsterdam.
So if you happen to be in your hotel room after a big night out in Amsterdam and you've got nothing to do, this will be the Wednesday. So Saturday, come down, and we're going to be day spacing all day long.
So on Monday we had On Tuesday we had Arcando.
Love him.
And That Behavior, Ghost Town featuring Vanessa Campagna.
I think it's Campania.
Yeah.
Ghost Town. I'll play a quick snippet. Cool, right?
It's very gritty. I like it. Yeah.
I don't know if it ever went away, but I just interrupted you. I'm sorry. But the chop era is Batman.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
so many chops
yeah.
at the moment. I love it.
I also think Arcando is going like quite pop now. Like he's definitely popping.
Yeah.
That's literally what I was
Popping
speaking
on
to him
pop.
about. We were on the Discord the other day for announcing like the winners of the When I'm With You remix comp that we did, and he was talking about that his sound is definitely there's that like there's the trap and then the pop, and that's actually quite a good blend of both.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Then Wednesday we had a new artist on Arcade called iFeature.
Ooh.
Track called Dreamatic.
Oh, sick.
I
Okay.
really like this one. So he did the vocal and the production.
Oh, sick.
That's so dope.
So unique.
Yeah, very unique.
It's like complextro drum and bass.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a hybrid of like different genres
Yeah.
in one. Yeah. It's very cool.
So I really like that one.
Yeah.
Then Thursday, so tomorrow, we have Spirit Link. Spirit Link.
Oh, Spirit Link.
Oh, Spirit Link. Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Spirit Link, Swole Sauce, and Tom the Gaffer.
Tom the Gaffer.
I wonder if he's a gaffer.
Just lighting.
Maybe actually is, yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Vocals cool.
Yeah.
I can hear Spirit Link on
Yeah, yeah, you can definitely hear that. Yeah. That's really nice.
Is that colour bass?
I'm not getting into discussions for genre. Why doesn't Charlotte tell us?
I've got no clue.
Sorry, I've put you so far away from that.
I would say probably not, but it's like it definitely has that sort of aesthetic to it.
Right.
It's like kind of close to being
think-
color based, but it's like
Yeah.
Have you ever had an upload that we've put up that you've been like, they've got that circle colour so completely wrong?
yeah. Anything. I don't know.
Come on, roast us. Just do it.
Yeah. There's a few where I'm just kind of like, you know what? I think the upload should be this color.
But it's
because I know like everyone on like a Discord server that like, you know, there's like a fan Discord server that like I kind of talk on sometimes, and there's so many people that say like, oh, this upload should be this color, and I kind of agree.
You should see my
like,
when an upload goes live. You should see my what about the VNF one there?
Yeah.
I have my messages open on Discord just in case like there's something that I need to see, or like if I haven't got an artist as a friend and they message me. Every time there's an upload, it's, Sam, this colour should be this colour should be... I'm like...
we have a group on Discord.
Yeah, now we have one.
Where we send in the music and we let the fans decide what the genre is.
Yeah, I got you.
That's such a small amount of people.
And for anyone watching it, you can't just join that group. It's not an open thing.
Do you not think, just if you really step back, do you not think it would be smart of us to get the genres wrong, so we create conversation
and it creates traction.
We're geniuses.
Like, so it becomes more
almost like we can talk about it every other day on a podcast.
Who knows?
Your last release, didn't we do that as drum and bass?
you did that as drum and bass.
I swear you just said it was dubstep and house.
Oh, that was
no.
That was Find You There. That was like January.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's interesting because For You isn't completely like drum and bass throughout. Like there's a drum step part which I think you usually do that as like red. Yeah. I think there's like a fan made like video that I saw where they kind of mix the two colors together, and it's like, oh, cool.
Yeah. It's cool. It's cool when we do that. I think it's also like, especially when with your sound, like the blend of so many things just makes me like, right, let's pick one. Maybe part of submitting a demo. I know you have to say the genre, but like maybe there should be a colour suggestion part, and then we can never be to blame.
But we can be to blame because the
we
fans
do
will
it.
still have a different.
Oh, that's
also,
true.
Also, we may be doing it on purpose.
Is this the agenda you want to push?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sorry. I think with Heartless, the track with like 8 people. You did like the color changing thing. Yeah. I think that was like a really cool idea.
Yeah, that was
suggested that before on the podcast, and the comments didn't. Didn't like the idea of doing it in the future.
Yeah.
I just think it's nice to keep those things sporadic and like change it up.
Yeah, for sure.
What else we got?
Let me play some more music. So Saturday we got Tea and Sugar, NCT, Find a Way, featuring Cammy Robin.
Swallowed that.
Well, I read it wrong, and then I was like, "That's funny." And then,
it's good to have Tea and Sugar back.
Really like this.
Really good lineup too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very euphoric. Like very
on a stage.
Got that groove.
on a stage. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can imagine the crowd going bum bum bum. Yeah.
It's like what we've been seeing of we got, as the day of filming this, we got some of the footage back from Rampage. That happened a few days ago. If you've seen any of like Andrew Medic posted it in cartoon, and it's when they play. Is it the Take Me tune, the used one? And just the crowd. I mean, every time that they play that out, that happens. But the Rampage crowd just singing that melody back, so cool.
Yeah. Then I'll play some upcoming tunes from the next couple of weeks.
All right, cool.
Okay.
So we've got Dry Skill and Max Braun War Machine. We've just had a Max Braun tune as well.
Yeah.
We've just kind of, been pushing a bit of Max Braun at the moment.
I just wish he knew.
That's sick, man. That's my bag. Very French.
I'm a very like huge fan of like mid-tempo stuff.
I love this.
This is like a perfect like example.
It gives me Jonathan vibes.
Yeah.
We all know how much I like Jonathan.
Yeah. Then on Arcade on Wednesday, we've got God's Warrior By Your Side. This one's nuts. Nuts. Like actually nuts.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
If I can't figure out this audio and we just put in what's playing out, do you know how distorted that's going to sound coming from the laptop into the mic?
We've also got Guy Arthur Runaway. In fact, you know what? I played that last time, didn't I?
I think so, yeah. You have played it recently, yeah.
Yeah. What else can I teach?
I was going to say, I know that this is a bit unorthodox, but could you play the track that we've got coming out today that we're releasing as of we're recording it? So today, when we're recording the podcast, Die For You drops, which is a sick tune.
Yeah.
If Found, Noel, and Damn Boy.
I know we have played it out before, but let's do it.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
Hang on.
Oh, there we go. Wait for it.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I saw. I went to Lost Lands, right? I saw If Found playlist live. Did the reaction when it came on? It was like insane.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that what is that the, because he sent some clips through the other week, is that when he had both of them up with him as well and they were singing it live? Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah,
so cool.
Such a chill dude too. And Noel as well, I met him as well.
Oh, nice.
He's really nice as well.
Yeah, I'd love to meet those two.
So you've played a few shows now, and you met Shaq, right? Is that what happened with Shaq? Am I making this up?
So I opened for Shaq in Melbourne.
Cool.
Which I think you mentioned like during JJL's episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really fun. Cool. 5 openers as well.
Yeah, it was a massive lineup, right?
Massive lineup.
Was he headline?
He was headline.
What is it? DJ Diesel, his pseudonym?
DJ Diesel, or Diesel for short.
Yeah.
I'm surprised he just doesn't go like DJ Shaq. Like it just, it's just better. But yeah. You recently hit 400,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Is that right?
Yeah, I did.
A few weeks back, right?
Am I reading notes that are wrong here?
No, don't worry. I want to just on because on the Shaq thing, I know you just jumped past it, but because he was on the Impulsive podcast a few weeks back, and there's like a bit where I think Logan says to him like, "Oh, like something like as like a celebrity DJ," and he gets like really offended because he's like, "I am a DJ." Like, did you speak to him at all there? Or?
I can't remember. I think I did.
Yeah. But not enough to
but not enough time to like have like a proper conversation.
But I guess like I mean, presume you watch this set right at the end. Like, how can he play?
Yeah.
That's so
his
cool.
stuff's like extremely heavy for sure, and like him being Shaq, you don't really expect that at first because you know he's notorious for being a part of the NBA and like all of that, but his stuff's like extremely heavy.
Yeah. He can deal with it.
Do you plan a set, or do you kind of just like wing it on the day? Like how performances for you? Is it
normally it's a bit of both. Like I have sections that are pre-planned, and then there are also spaces in between where I can sort of improvise if I want to, and I have done it before, which is always really fun to do.
Yeah.
But
you ever on the when sometimes DJs will jump on the next level up.
Yeah, right.
Do you ever jump on there and like?
Oh, when they
when they jump on the table.
That would make me so nervous.
I've never
the crew.
Yeah. I've never jumped on the table before.
Yeah.
That's so scary.
I'm like, what if you stand on a cable that unplugs the thing?
There's so much that could go wrong. You could hit the fader. You could do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Bro, like, I can't be doing that, man.
Yeah,
No
right.
way. That's why I'm not performing. That's why I haven't got an ADE set for myself to play.
Yeah.
So what?
Go on.
Did you have anything?
What
What are your plans for ADE?
That's what I was gonna say. Yay, great.
Yeah, plans for ADE. Obviously, there's your events that I'm going to.
Get your tickets.
Get your tickets. Yeah. I'm meeting up with Music by Lucas. That's the Team MBL
I
event.
hate those guys.
Yeah.
It's because they were coming for our job, so I'm trying to.
Yeah, right.
We had them on the podcast. I was like, you guys need to be doing this.
Yeah, and there's also like the usual like networking stuff. I'm meeting so many people that I've talked to like online for like years now, and this is like the first time that I'm like seeing them in person.
It's the best experience. That
yeah, for sure. And then there's also a few more events like the Trap Nation event, and then Monster Cat, Bitbird, and yeah, honestly, just trying to have a good time.
Yeah,
That's
I think
the big
like,
thing.
for me, like, and I guess especially for you more so, like, this is gonna be the first ADE I've been to, but like traveling from so far. I was speaking to Aria on Instagram, and he was saying like he's coming over.
Yeah.
And I was like, it is. You said this loads, like, of it being the place where you see all these people, but that just proves it. Like yourself coming from Melbourne, like Aria's coming from Canada,
It's
like,
international,
and you are just all meeting up in and Amsterdam's a tiny city as well.
Yeah,
in this like you're just gonna be. I'm imagining myself walking down a canal, looking over the other side, and just seeing like Exod and Michael.
That happens.
Oh look, there they are.
Right,
So cool. It's gonna be gas, man. We had I won't spoil it, Charlotte. No, what we had delivered that we tried today.
I was actually going to say I think we should
Oh,
put a photo in the Discord even.
oh yeah, we might do that. Yeah. Oh, shall I say what it is then? Yeah. So today we our desks in our office at the moment, where we sit, there's usually like a few little boxes and bits around us. We were saying to you before we recorded.
Yeah, right.
Desk space is non-existent right now. It's bad. It's really funny though.
Yeah.
And it's because we've got so much stuff that we're bringing. We've got these little guys. I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera. There's like a little NCS that we're taking.
Logo, yeah.
Loads of cool little things. But we also had walk in the office today, and I'm like, what is that? It's like a massive big circle. I'm like, what's going on here? And we've got this real life visualizer. The best way to describe it is like if you guys look on our Instagram, and we did it for like the recent release you have, we usually have the artists in front of like the visualizer for whatever the genre is, and now we've got like a real life one that you guys can have your photo taken in front of. It is cool. Like it is really cool, and it like changes color, but you guys have got to somehow get it from.
Yeah, we've rented a car. It's
the car's gonna be. Maybe you could just put it on the top and have it. That's guerrilla marketing.
Oh yeah.
Have it on top of the car, driving through Amsterdam.
Just drive on the road, have it like
great. That's great.
That's
I was saying we need to do. When Tea and Sugar for I think the last release they had with us like last year, they were riding around on the bike playing the song out. I was like, we need to get like one of those like bikes and just stick the visualizer on the back and just cycle around Amsterdam. I've got this itch to do that. I don't know if you notice it. I keep saying that I want to cycle around Amsterdam.
Yeah, I suppose you could rent a bike. Yeah, I think there is. Is there a bike rental there actually? I don't know.
Presumably,
I would assume so.
I don't know if you're allowed to put a massive big visualizer circle.
Right.
It's probably an extra cost. But that'd be cool. Yeah. What artists are you excited to meet that you've like spoke to online?
Oh my god, there's so many.
There's so many, right?
Well, I'm seeing Exod for sure. We've kind of talked about like meeting up at your events and whatnot. Well, there's also Music by Lucas, but like everyone wants to see him. So
Yeah.
I
think it'll be really cool, especially for the day space and Lucas's. Like with them being like in the daytime, is like you use the big pull of ADs. Obviously, the massive events that go on at the night, like the shows and all that. But that's going to be a really good time to actually talk to people.
Exactly.
I've been getting messages on Discord. Rob messaged me literally when we're on the way here saying like, am I going to be there? Like, what's the plan? Talk about like, live podcasts and that kind of stuff. And you're saying it's going to be there for the whole day because it is just going to be a nice place to hang out and chat to people.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it'll be really good. I'm super excited. What time are we on? Oh, we got a bit of time yet. We're all good.
Cool.
Obviously, go on.
What's your favourite colour? I just thought
I said this when I first like moved to London. That was like my go-to thing. I'd ask people what their favourite colour and favourite animal.
What's your favourite colour? What's the weather like?
Yeah. Which like I think it's just putting the pressure on.
Yeah. Right now it's purple.
Let's see a future house
what
release.
kind of purple? Like dark,
like a lavender purple.
Oh,
That's my
so you like
favourite
future
colour.
base.
yeah.
cool,
What do
yeah.
we? What is lavender future base for
Future
us?
base,
Yeah, cool.
yeah.
A lot of that on our arcade.
Yeah. But it's changed like a lot recently. Like it used to be blue. It used to be black. Like it was yellow at one point, but I mean, right now it's purple.
Are you gonna dye the hair? You're going back.
I mean,
Yeah.
I like it at the moment. It's got
Yeah,
like
yeah.
like an ice fade.
yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I've dabbled a lot with like hair colors. And whatnot. But yeah, right now though, I think I'm good.
You could go for a yellow at ADE.
Oh, like the ADE yellow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good shout. What about you, Dan? You gonna dye your hair? Sorry, that's so right. Yeah. So, what's like once you've done the ADE run? Plans after that? Obviously, presumably you're going to try and make the most of being on this side of the world. Like, what are the next plans?
I mean, I have my mindset of moving to LA. That's kind
nice.
of like something that's been at the back of my mind a lot, because in Australia it's like so hard to like, work with people like that are from there. And I mean that's sort of like the capital of like, music in general.
Yeah.
You get what I mean?
Just right in central.
Yeah. I mean, I know that everyone says that, but it's kind of something that has been like, something that I've wanted to do for like a really, really long time. Don't know if I'm going to do it for sure though.
Well, you got one life, might as well do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, Melbourne's also really nice too, but it's the weather's like so crap over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like at one point it's sunny, and then like an hour later it's just rainy.
It's
and
like
then it's like a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, what do you do?
When like you're collabing with these artists, obviously like time zone wise, it must be really difficult. Like, are you having to hop on at like 3 a.m. in the morning?
Yeah.
Oh man.
I swear I remember this. You were like, there was a Discord chat or something.
I hopped on at 4 a.m.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
when
and you
we-
were like,
Yeah.
I really need to go to sleep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That happened with Andrew A as well. We're speaking off camera about like obviously he's in is it Adelaide?
Yeah.
And every time he comes on the Discord, he'll be like, yeah, it's 3 a.m. I've just got back from like a festival or like a night out. I'm like, why are you here? What are you putting yourself through this, man? It's gonna be like the struggle with Amsterdam. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not an old person, but like we're gonna be session for like 5 days straight.
Well, I don't know whether I'm going to go crazy, if you get me. I think I'm going to be like,
Yeah, I
think
don't
can
want to
stop
embarrass us,
myself.
do we?
I just
Charlotte, you got no chance, man. 2 drinks down, it's good night. It's over. Cool, yeah. And then I guess like for sort of future plans, what's it look like? I mean, look as far as you want, but what are the plans for next year? You got any releases in the works? That kind of stuff?
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at doing like an EP for a while now. I mean, I've always done singles, and it's been great, but I mean, there's like a point where you kind of want to do something different. But yeah, I mean, I have like a whole bank of unreleased stuff that I've been keeping for like a year now, maybe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it just piles on like over time, and it's like, when can I show everyone this? Like, yeah.
You get that itch, right?
There's like that desperation of like showing people like what you've been working on, and it's always there, but it varies from time to time depending on like how much you have like stored up, and like right now I have like a lot. So yeah, I mean,
are you 20 years old?
yeah, I'm 20.
Crazy.
Just saw that, and I was
What?
like,
Yeah, I'm 20. Yeah,
I thought you were like 25, like, at least.
That's
Yeah.
mad.
yeah.
Wow.
I'm 20 years old. Yeah,
20 is young. Like, that's
young.
like, yeah, I mean, it feels like you've been doing this a while, though.
I mean, yeah, I've been releasing music for like 1 or 2 years now.
Is that it? I feel like it's
yeah.
way longer than that for some reason.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I get that people take like some people take like a really long time to like get to that same level, but I don't know.
2 years, you've somehow kind of
yeah.
burst it up.
Yeah, right. I mean, I don't know how it happens, to be honest. I mean, you know, I've kind of always seen it as like, I don't know if I would call it luck or like a motivation sort of thing, but I mean,
I think you can be lucky, but if you put yourself in the right position with the right people and build relationships, your chances of luck
That's
increase.
the thing, isn't it? Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but it's like luck and hard work.
Yeah, there's still a chance you won't make it, but the more you do,
you invite the opportunity, right? Yeah,
exactly.
This is like the big thing that we spoke to JJL about on the last podcast when we were saying like he's so young, and like for yourself, even 20, like now, like starting so young on it as well. Like
that dude's 14.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, but it's putting themselves in that environment, like getting involved as much as you can. I guess like, would you have any sort of tips and tricks for upcoming producers now, anyone that's watching this, of like, not necessarily how to get yourself out there, but how to get the ball rolling?
Get the ball rolling. Yeah, I mean, I know it's cheesy, but like finding your sound's like a big one for me. I mean, I'm kind of like all over the place with like different genres, but I mean,
you just testing the water, or
yeah, I mean, more so just, you know, trying to branch myself out to different styles rather than just sticking to the one and like having that sort of expectation like evolve around me to like stick to that for like the rest of my career, you know. But I mean, find what you like doing. Don't really put yourself in the perspective of like thinking that you have to produce all the time, because it's okay to take breaks, you know.
Balance is so key.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it is like, I think it's obviously what a lot of artists are chasing, is that like that upper echelon. But like, think about some of the biggest producers in the world, like, and more credit to them if they can do that. But it's 24/7. Like there's no breaks. Like, and obviously it's different because you could maybe go away for a year and do nothing if you're at that level. But like, I mean, I in anything that I do have to have that balance of things. Like, it's definitely really important, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of important from like a well-being perspective, because if you overwork yourself, then obviously you're gonna like burn out. Yeah, right. And you know, potentially like start to hate what you do, not necessarily because what you do isn't like engaging, but because you're not finding like that right like balance between, you know, letting yourself cool down and like
you want to treat it how it is at the beginning, right? Where it's like, it's the escape and it's the fun thing you go to do from your norm, not like not that this is my norm. What do I go and do now?
Right. It's important to find the balance between, you know, it being a hobby and it being like an actual job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been like told a lot as well. So, yeah.
So like, jumping forward now before we wrap things up.
Yeah, sure.
You obviously said you've got some release in the pipeline of things that you've been working on, like trying to get the EP out. Like, this is such an open-ended question; it's a difficult one to answer. But
right.
What does it look like in 5 years' time? Like, what do you where do you want to get to? And get to is a tough thing, because it's like, I want to be playing this. Doesn't necessarily have to be that. What does I guess the future look like for the project?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I definitely want to headline at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of what, you know, everyone wants to do at some point, but that's been like, that's been a goal of mine for a while. And I mean, I guess just experiment with more genres, kind of like what I'm doing now, and finding out like more styles that I like, and
maybe you'll be in LA, and
maybe. I mean, I can't say for sure, but
if you could only produce or perform, which one would it be?
That's hard, because like I like both a lot for different reasons. I guess I would probably create more, just because that's what I'm comfortable doing the most. You get what I mean? I mean, I used to have like huge stage fright, believe it or not. You
Yeah.
know, like I wouldn't really, you know, say like a few years ago, I would not have imagined that I would be performing at Lost Lands, not because of the opportunity, but because of like the sheer pressure of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like that's such a huge like
Big deal.
expectation.
It's a
Yeah,
big
for sure.
deal. Like
yeah,
humans really aren't meant to stand in front of 10,000 other humans.
Yeah, right.
It just
Exactly.
doesn't
Yeah,
happen.
but yeah, I mean, I've always had like a creative mind, and I mean, from a financial sort of standpoint, it's like a lot less secure than performing, if that makes sense. But if I had to choose, like either one, regardless of the money, it would be just creating.
Do you ever produce for other people? Is that something you'd like?
Oh yeah,
to
for
do?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I've never really seen money as like a motivation. You know, like sure it's great, but there's also like a huge like expectation that you have to meet where you have to build like a true fan base. you
Yeah.
know? I mean, my manager and I have been talking about this like, you know, a couple of days ago. You know, there's a chance where you get to gain like 1,000 fans or 10 true fans.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Exactly.
like I would much rather go with the 10 true
100%.
fans, like
Yeah.
100% of the time, because those people will be dedicated to your music, like no matter what. And if you prefer the 1,000 fans, like there's always a chance of them like, you know, dying out and not being interested in you. And yeah, that's just kind of how I see it.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, what were you gonna say?
I mean, I was going to transition.
Go on.
So you,
Sorry, I stopped you right in the mid.
you have an Australian accent.
Yes.
Speaking of Australia,
Yeah.
you're going to Australia.
Oh, didn't know you were gonna say this
Yeah, maybe you just could kind of give some info on that
to
but I
these
thought-
people, to the
yeah,
fans.
I think it'd be good to sort of let everyone,
do you want me
everyone
to?
know.
Do you want me to tell them what's happened?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
it'd be good to sort of share rather than it. Be,
All right, cool. Yeah, because I don't think I'll get another podcast in, will I?
No.
well, I think
No.
it's
Yeah,
the
right.
last one.
Yeah, actually, you're right. So how long have I been here now? Like almost 2 years, pushing 2 years. Really, 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 really heartbreaking to announce, but I'm actually going to leave NCS in a few weeks' time. Actually, a week after this podcast will go out. So next week, following this, will be my last week. I'm going traveling. I'm going to your neck of the woods.
Yep.
Taking on Australia, New Zealand, Asia, which should be super cool. So if anyone is on that side of the world and has accommodation, I can stay. Stick it in the chat. I'm joking. Don't do that. But yeah, it's really bittersweet. I said this to you about like when I started this job, like with the last job. I've been so lucky that every job that I've done, I've loved.
Yeah.
Like this
Yeah,
one's
for
been
sure.
so cool. I've met like artists like yourself, like excuse me, seeing you guys online, which has been such a cool part of it. So it's going to be really tough, but yeah, it's going to be an awesome 6 months to a year of just exploring the world. So yeah, thanks to you guys and to the community for being so lovely.
Obviously.
I'm sure you're going to be on the Discord
I'll be-
next week.
Yeah. I'll be on the Discord. We'll do like we can do a big Sam's leaving party.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
We're obviously sad to see you go, but
Thank you.
You know, I think it also, I'm kind of excited to see what you're going to be doing in Australia and just like traveling. And you've been talking about it for ages, so I
Yeah,
think
it's going to be so exciting.
felt like the right moment.
Yeah, I'll have to hit you up.
We'll
and-
have to meet
Yeah.
up at some
That'll
point.
be so sick.
That'll be so cool.
Yeah, and maybe I can just I reckon I can jump in the Discord from time to time anyway. Maybe I'll make a Sam
I
updates
think
channel.
we're banning you.
What?
I'm quitting all
Charlotte, you wouldn't know how to ban me. You sat in a voice channel for 48 hours by yourself, just chilling in there.
Well,
But yeah.
what I was going to do was I was going to switch up the last question.
Oh, okay. Because I did have one. Go on then.
Oh, you did, but wasn't
No,
it?
go on. Do yours.
Okay.
I like this.
Um,
You know what we do at the end of these podcasts, right? Where we have to pick a song,
Oh yeah,
which we forgot to preference
What?
you with. So
Yeah.
pressure's going to be on.
Okay.
what
Thank you.
NCS song would you listen to if you were leaving NCS and traveling on the plane to Australia?
I was going to say this one. That's right. Yeah, a flight
Nostalgic
from
song.
the UK
Right,
to
right.
Australia.
You know, you might get a bit emotional, but it might be like a good feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So we have to find a song. We'll give you time to think on one.
Okay,
do you want
gotcha.
my phone to look through the releases?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure.
I know what mine's going to be
Okay.
because I know, but I'm
you.
going to have to say.
in the Is it going to be sad?
No, it won't be
it's
sad.
just whatever emotions you want to
Whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah,
Sure, go ahead.
So like, I'm seeing it from my perspective because I'm going to be doing this, and if like I had to play a song that would sum up my experience in that moment. Oh, I don't want to say it now. You're going to get annoyed. It's Jonathan Rise. It's Jonathan Rise. Can I not have that one? Can I not have that
I
one?
just don't think it works. I think you
I mean,
can, but
shall
you're going to lose.
I play it? Shall I play it?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
cool.
Yeah, sure.
It's a banger anyway. It probably doesn't work, does it? It's not as emotional. I know what it's going to be.
I'm gonna fast forward it.
This is sick, Jane.
Oh, I've got mine.
It's such a good
I
tune.
feel like if you put on these sunglasses and then we're like looking out.
Yeah, it's like backpack over my one shoulder, walking down the middle of the plane.
Can I do mine next? Just because I feel like someone else might.
Yeah, sure.
might
Go
be
ahead.
here otherwise.
Go.
I believe it's JJD.
Mm-hmm.
A New Adventure.
That's such a cop out because it's a new adventure. It's a good answer though.
Yeah.
This was NCS 10, isn't it?
Is this the second one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On a new adventure.
I love that.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, that's a nice tune. So different vibes. So different
Yeah.
vibes.
Shall I do mine or have you got yours?
I have mine.
All right,
yeah.
let's do it.
So mine's When I'm Gone, Texture Space.
Ooh. That's a
Good
good one,
one.
actually.
Thank you. Good one.
Oh, I think this might be
Yeah.
It sounds like clouds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I hope the audio sounds alright.
Hopefully.
I'm gonna have to fast forward a bit, sorry.
This is
Like,
a good tune.
Yeah, like it's heavy, but it's like very
So euphoric.
melodic. Yeah.
It gives me that, like, you know, that meme that's going around. I think it's a Fat Rat tune. That's the leaving the room. And they
Right.
just have the
yeah.
vibe. Damn.
I think I would have to do this one. Where has it gone? Savannah by Diviners and Philly K.
Oh,
Of
no.
course.
Oh, it's so summery.
Yeah. It's a classic.
I think it's like I'm imagining like all the animals and
yeah.
All the animals.
sun's rising.
Yeah, exactly.
all that
Yeah.
That's a good tune, man.
jazz. Yeah.
I forgot that Kygo sound, isn't it?
Yep.
What do I need to worry about? Like bugs and spiders and things.
Here's the thing. Okay, people kind of have this like stereotype about like being afraid of like spiders in Australia, right? It's not necessarily the bigger ones that will hurt.
Yeah.
It's like the smaller ones.
It's the ones that don't make webs, right?
Exactly.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
I'm all right with them, but I think that might be a problem because it's
Right.
a full sense of security.
Yeah,
like if I
exactly.
see one, I'm like, that's not scary.
Yeah.
And then it bites me.
yeah,
That would be bad.
right. And
But, you know.
yeah, people think koalas are cute as well, but like they mess you up.
Yeah, they can scratch you bad. Huh?
yeah.
All right. Well, when we get off, I'll get some top tips about the best survival tips.
Yeah,
when I'm
sure.
down there. All right. Thank you. Oh, I can do my last outro on the podcast. You're
Yeah.
going to be on your own. Apologies to you guys because you are stuck with two sick offers after this. I'm joking, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Chenda, pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
Pleasure to be here.
And we're obviously got ADE all this week long, so
Yeah.
it's going to be very
I'll see you
exciting.
next week.
Yes, and yeah, if you guys want to find out any more, obviously this will be out whilst we're in Amsterdam, but if you happen to be watching it and you're there, link in the description, you can find our day space, come through on the Saturday.
Yeah.
You're going to be there, we're going to be there, loads of other artists, it'll be sick. Thank you guys so much for watching, tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Ciao.
Bye.